Garret from Garret's Guitar Lessons here, and today I'm going to be going through the Mr. Blue Sky solos. Now the reason why I say solos plural is because I'm not only going to go through the guitar solo, I'm also going to go through the vocoder solo, and also the ending ahs I'm going to turn into a guitar line as well. Anyways, here's the guitar solo. So this is going to start out in my C-shaped scale. This is in the key of F, so I'm thinking my root note being on the 8th fret on the 5th string. I'm just going to walk up just the bottom part of that C-shaped arpeggio, almost like a D shape right there. So I'm going to be going 5th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret on the 2nd string, 5th fret on the 1st string, then 6th fret on the 1st string, then be quickly hammering on and pulling off 5, 6, 5 on my 1st string. Next, I'm going to be bending up on the 8th fret on the 2nd string. Now I'm going to be kind of stopping it, and then I'm going to be pulling down from that same bend right there. So I'm going up, and then I'm going back down, and then I'm going down to the 6th fret on the 2nd string, back to the 8th fret on the 2nd string. Now what's great about this solo right here is how much he's getting, how much musical content he's getting out of just very few notes. So what I mean by that is he's using that 6th fret and 8th fret quite a bit, using a bend to reach up to this A note on the 2nd string, but most of the solo just consists of those couple notes right there. Now after that, and down to that 6th fret on the 2nd string, he's going to go to the 10th fret on the 2nd string, 10th fret on the 1st string, and then 8th fret on the 1st string. Now he's going to go 7th fret on the 3rd string, to 6th fret on the 2nd string, to 8th fret. And he's going to hold that for a second before he bends that up. Now he's going back to the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 7th, 6th, 8th. Now he's going to go 6, 8, 6, 8, and then 8, bend up, and then bend up, and then also let it back down. So before, we're just bending it up and stopping it, and now he's going back to the 6th fret. So that line, now he's going to go 6th fret, 8th fret on the 2nd string, all the way up to the 10th fret on the 2nd string, do a half step bend, so 6, 8, now back down to the 10th fret, 8th fret, and then hammer on the 8th to 10th right there. Then he's going to be using some consecutive thirds on the first two strings, 10th and 11th fret on the first and 2nd string, 8th and 10th on the 1st and 2nd string, 6th and 8th on the 1st and 2nd string, and then end it almost at that same shape that we started out on, 5th and 6th on the 1st string. Now he slides between those first two. Now that one's kind of tricky to get used to, so at first you can just pick them separately, but once you can, and you can kind of visualize that shape right there, be sure to kind of slide into that second shape and then pick those last two. So here's the guitar solo again. Next is the vocoder solo. Now this is mainly going to consist of triads, and then sometimes he'll alter the triad in order to kind of make the melody fit a little bit more. So I'm typically either strumming the whole thing with the pick or using my pick on the lowest string, mostly the 3rd and 4th strings, and then my other two fingers, my 2nd and 3rd on the strings right above that. Alright, so first we have an F almost as like a C shape right there. So my 2nd to 4th string triad right there. Now I'm going to be adding my pinky on the 2nd string, 8th fret right there. Mr. Now I'm going to be going to the top 3 strings. I'm going to be doing almost like the top 3 part of an F7 chord. Then I'm going to be finishing that phrase with just an F as a D shape right there. So all together. Next, I'm going to be going to an E minor triad, but this one is just like an A minor, all the way up here in the 8th and 9th fret right here. I'm going to an A sharp 5 or an A augmented triad. This one's going to be with my first finger bar on the 6th fret, 2nd and 3rd string, and then my second finger on the 7th fret on the 4th string. Now this one's going to come back again, so it's going to go 1, 2. Now I'm going to be going to a D minor triad is how I'm thinking about this. Again on the 2nd through 4th string with my 2nd string root right there. But I'm going to begin with my pinky all the way up on the 10th, on the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So it's going to start here and then end on that triad. So let's listen to those 4. Next I'm going to an A chord, typically using my first finger on the 4th, 2nd, and 3rd string. On the 2nd fret right there. Back to that A augmented triad, so it's my 2nd finger on the 7th fret, 4th string, first finger bar on the 6th fret on the 3rd and 2nd string. Then we're going to a B flat triad, so just like that A, but now I'm moving up, sometimes I'll use my pinky, and we're starting, just like we did for that D minor triad, with my pinky or 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 5th fret. Then we could just go back to that B flat triad, and then we just end it on an F chord right there. Finally, here are the ahs done on guitar. So I'm starting out in my G-shaped scale, where my pinky is going to be on the 13th fret. That's kind of my root note right there. I'm starting on the 10th fret with my first finger, and then be on the 2nd string, then be bending up on the 12th fret first string, up a half step to the 13th fret. Now while it's up there, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to be go down that bend, and then pull off to that 10th fret right there. And then finally I'm just going to hit the 12th fret on the first string, and then 10th fret on the 2nd string. Now I'm going to hit that 10th fret again for the next part, and now I'm going to be moving back to that same C shape for my F, so I'm thinking of that F right there as a way to kind of ground myself, bending up on the 8th fret. And then same thing, I'm going to cut it off, bend down, and then pull off to the 6th fret on the first string. And then 8th fret on the first string, 6th fret on the 2nd string. Now finally, I'm going to be going to my D-shaped scale for that F right there, hitting the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, bending up a half step on the 5th fret to the 6th fret on the 1st string. Same thing, I'm going to cut it off, descend that bend, pull off to the 3rd fret on the 1st string. And then hit the 5th fret on the 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, then be hitting the 8th fret on the 2nd string, and then 6th fret on the 2nd string. Now in my intro example, I did play the arpeggios the second time around when everything kind of slows down a little bit. It's a great opportunity to kind of utilize some of our arpeggios. I use the E flat chord as an A-shape arpeggio. And then the B flat as an E-shape arpeggio. And then you just want to end on some version of the F as a C-shape arpeggio. So you want to end on any one of those notes, depending on where you are in the arpeggio. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Check out GarrettsGuitarLessons.com for a free PDF of these tabs of everything I went through today, and more free lessons and resources. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time.